But do the Chiefs have do they have the biggest question marks across all AFC contenders? And this is a very specific category. I feel like you had to kind of answer the question backwards. Like, you got to identify contenders and then go back to the Chiefs.
Good call.
Without a doubt. And that's what made my answer easy. Yes, they are the team with the biggest question marks because you have to actually look at the contenders, not the dark horses. And this is a team. The other ones that we're talking about, contenders, we're talking about what they've gained, what Buffalo has gotten. Well, the different teams that we're saying, hey, they added this guy, they added that guy. With Kansas City, we're talking about who they lost. They lost Tyreek Hill, the guy that had 159 targets last year, that led the team in receiving yards and led the team in touchdowns. And do you know who followed him up in touchdowns amongst the receivers? Byron Pringle. And you know what? He's not there anymore. So when you talk about question marks, this is a team, yes, they added Juju Smith-Schuster. They added MVS. We're talking about different guys that they're adding, but they have question marks. These aren't guys that we're saying, oh, they added this guy who's a two-time Pro Bowl guy, or this guy who's an all-pro. These are guys that are coming in that we're expecting to make a leap and make that jump, but we don't know if they're going to do it. Without Tyreek Hill, you know who's going to be seeing more double teams? Travis Kelce, the guy that they're going to be looking to do a lot for them on the offensive end. And then on the defensive guy, Tyrann Mathieu, Anthony Hitchens, defensive captains last year, both gone.
You talked about McCole Hardman in the last hour. He's going to have to step up.
Yes.
Is he the number one, or is it Juju? Like, how do you see this? MVS, and is Hardman a number one wide receiver in the NFL?
I think they're a team that we're not going to say, all right, he's the number one guy. They're going to have kind of jobs. You have MVS, you have Hardman. Those are going to be guys that they're going to look to take the top off the defense. I'm interested to see who becomes Mahomes' favorite target. That's going to be who becomes the number one guy. It may not be talent-wise, but is it Juju on those third downs where he's able to get the ball and trust that he can work the slot and be able to get open and pick up a first down?
They host the AFC title game every year. They don't just they host it. They beat the Bills in the playoffs, it feels like, every year. Those are still some bad, bad dudes. But I'm going to talk about a team close to you, the Patriots. First question, we have to identify this. Are they a contender? Are they one of the AFC contenders? I think they are. I think they're always in. But there are a lot of questions. So you got your surface level stuff. You got your low-hanging fruit. Who's calling the plays? Is it going to be Joe Judge? Is it going to be Matt Patricia? Even if they do give us one of those answers, there's still questions that come with that. Have they surrounded Mac Jones with enough weapons? Is Devontae Parker enough? Seems like a lot of the other teams were really busy, and the Patriots weren't doing that much. But the biggest question of all is, how are they going to beat number 17 for the Buffalo Bills? We've talked about him all morning, Josh Allen. And I think this is a fascinating time for Bill Belichick. And Jason, I think it's fascinating that you know the man. In his entire run as the New England Patriots head coach, he has never had a killer quarterback in his division. Never. You can go down every roster for the Dolphins and the Jets, anybody you want. Buffalo, it is a bunch of Brett Favre 1 year in the Jets, Chad Pennington with Dolphins. There has never been a guy, and now they have a freaking axe murderer up in the Buffalo that they're going to have to play twice a year, who beat them by 700 points in a playoff game. No shame the Patriots lost that game. Their rookie quarterback, they were on the road, it was tough. This is the new reality for Belichick, and we've never seen it. We've never said, oh, man, we got to face that guy twice. Are they ready for that? Is Mac Jones going to go to Buffalo and win? I know they beat him last year in that crazy wild game, but that was not even football, I feel like. That's the biggest question for them. They could be great. I think they will be great. Are they going to be great enough to beat that Buffalo team? Because number 17 is
very windy that night.
Very windy. A lot of precipitation. Very few pass attempts.
3 pass attempts from Mac Jones. Similar type of team for me, especially when you talk about, historically, in pedigree, in the coach. Mike Tomlin's never coached a bad team. Like, Mike Tomlin has never coached a bad team. And yet I'm looking at some of the people talking about the Steelers, and they're talking 5, 6, 7 wins. Is this a rebuilding Steelers team, or a team that went to the playoffs last year and have the reigning defensive player of the year lining up as TJ Watt will be doing week 1? Like, I'm so curious what we get, because, gosh, in whispers to coaches around the league, maybe Trubisky's an upgrade from Roethlisberger. Like, I don't know if Ben was slinging it like he used to.
Last year's version.
This is, the 2021 version of Ben was not the same version it was 5 years ago. And maybe Trubisky's younger, can move out of the pocket, and can run Matt Canada's offense. He'll never have the leadership of Ben or the pedigree or the resume. But gosh, like, what are the Steelers? And it's all about one position to me, the quarterback spot. Because Najee's going to be there. They've got good receivers. They've got an offensive and defensive line. And when you have Cam Hayward, and of course when you've got TJ Watt, like, you've got 2 of the best defensive players in the entire NFL. Minka Fitzpatrick in the back. Like, they're a good team. Are they a contender? It's going to be up to Trubisky or Kenny Pickett. I don't know who is going to be the quarterback come crunch time.
Yeah, this topic for me brings up an existential question when it comes to offenses, which is does the quarterback make the receiver? Does the receiver make the quarterback? So with the Chiefs, your quarterback is still Patrick Mahomes. Like I think Tyreek Hill is a talent, but your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. The Titans are the team that I think I'm going to consider them a contender. I really need them to prove themselves for me in the first couple weeks of the season. The Titans are the contender, and I was terrible at math, but go with me here.
You're going to fit in here.
The greater loss of Tyreek Hill, no. Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill is not as big of a loss as Ryan Tannehill is without A.J. Brown.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so we're looking at this A.J. Brown number. Now, this is life without the guy that you love to throw to.
This is good.
Okay, so Mahomes without Tyreek Hill, still 3-1, still throws 8 touchdowns to his other options, doesn't give the ball away. Ryan Tannehill struggles without an A.J. Brown. Now, A.J. Brown is not with Tennessee anymore. They have to figure out their offense. Who is Tannehill relying on? Patrick Mahomes not only can rely on himself as a quarterback, but you still have Travis Kelce. I just don't see this going well for Tannehill with the Tennessee Titans. He needs to find options in quickly. Is Treylon Burks the guy?
Yeah, right away.
The headlines haven't really shown us that right away. And there are some growing pains that happen there. So, again, it begs the question, who makes what? And I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be a phenomenal quarterback. I could be his wide receiver, and he would still be. I would love to do that.
For just the viewers, I mean, this is the depth chart at wide receiver. Robert Woods, Nick Westbrook, Akine, and Treylon Burks are like the 1, 2, 3. That is not what the Chiefs have.
No, exactly. Right.
Robert Woods coming off injury as well.
Yes, exactly. So if you're going to consider the Titans a contender, I'm going to go they have a lot more question marks than the Chiefs do.
They have tons. And one of the biggest questions is, are our eyes going to glaze over every time we talk about the Titans this year? Yeah. We kind of have a history of the Titans. And I say this to you as a former Titan. It's like, it's just a little mild, a little tepid, and you start to get excited. Okay, maybe there's something. And like that playoff game was really rough. Yeah. I mean, it was like confirming everyone's doubts about the Tennessee Titans, a 1 seed, losing to the Bengals. Tannehill's a mess. What do you make of the Titans this year? Should we believe in them?
I don't see the Titans as a contender, and a lot of it is because of
number 1 seed last year.
I know.
For sure. And
in a loaded AFC.
Which was surprising to me because, like you just said, number 1 seed, you're getting Derrick Henry back, and your thought process is, all right, here we go. We're going to win this thing. And then you trade away A.J. Brown. And for me, it's just for a younger team where you're still building, you can get the young guy in, bring him along, and he'll grow with the team. But for a team where you're ready to win right now, your team is built for that. The number 1 seed last year, and we get rid of our most productive offensive player with Derrick Henry not being out there, that makes it tough for me to really believe they're going to be the team that takes it over the top. A very good team, though, but I don't know if I have them in my contender slip right now.
People are picking the Steelers for 5 wins?
Yeah.
I've seen some
nasty
things about the Steelers.
Do people watch football?
Come on. I know, right? I'm with you. Every time I see the Steelers, I'm like, all right, 9 wins. Here we go.
Tomlin finds a way. Finds a way.
Exactly.